Brianna Liston, at this particular point, there are questions surrounding, where her allegiance, now lies, right? Is it still with Jamaica, or is it now with the United States of America? Seeing as though now she's, taking on, the accent, sounds, very much American, more than maybe some Americans would sound, according to some people, right? So there's the thought. Now, I did see this, floating around in my comment section for a few days, but for me, it was a non-topic, so I ignored it. You know what I mean? For me, it's a non-issue. Why am I going to be talking about things that I deem, in my opinion, are nonsensical, right? And y'all know me. I'm a straight shooter. If I believe something is nonsense, I'm going to tell you it's nonsense. And it's not a personal attack on you personally. It's just that view. That opinion to me was nonsense, right? So I've been seeing it floating around, and whatever, I'm ignoring it and moving on with my life. I guess today Oral Tracy decided, yeah, I'm gonna name drop him, child, because y'all know I don't shy away from calling nobody's name. So he decided to drop a video today saying that he's wondering why Brianna Liston made the move she made, given that it's a Olympic year, and it's a, every athlete's dream to pretty much represent their country at the Olympic Games. And for Brianna Liston, the fastest Jamaican right now this season, to just hang her spikes up, now he's starting to think, okay, there has to be something else going on here. What could possibly cause a Brianna Liston to not want to represent Jamaica on the global stage in 2024, where her shot is very much live? Because in his opinion, one, Elaine not fire, Sharika not fire, Shelly not fire, nobody not fire. So it can't be the case where you're looking at the field and thinking to yourself, okay, Brianna, even if I come, even if I come run, me nah make it, because Shelly I got dust me way run 1:10:6. Elaine got dust me running a 10:6, and Sherika is gonna dust me running a 10:6. You know what I mean? So even if I participate and throw my hat into the ring, it's not gonna go anywhere more than a relay leg. So why even bother? You know what I mean? So let me just sit this one out. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what he is saying. So no, he's alluding to the fact that could it be that Brianna Liston is interested in representing Team America over Team Jamaica. Now, Trackies, again, for me, I have to get my thoughts together, because this for me was literally a non topic or and a non issue. Now, Aura Tracy kept harping on the fact that, okay, she has gone 10.91 seconds so far this season, right? And then she ran a 10.89 winded, right? So, taking all these things into consideration, if why is it that you can't necessarily hold your peak to trials and just try to rep and then see what happens after that? You know what I mean? But this is the part of the reason why I can't even take Oral Tracy seriously. Brenda Liston has been running all season, right? And her fastest windy time, most of the times have been windy, save, I think those 2:10:9 ones that she has, right? Most of the times, well, all of them have been goddamn windy, has been throwing me for a loop, right? But anyway, most of them have been windy. And the fastest windy time that she has is at 10.84 seconds, not a 10.89, a 10.84. So if he was even following what was going on with Brianna Liston, which is why for me, I cannot even take this seriously, because he kept harping on and on about the 10.89. And I'm like, bruh, if we're going to be mentioning her windy time, a 10.84 she run. A 10.84 she run. What was it? 10.85, one of them, right? You I can't take you seriously if you don't even know what's going on with Brenna Liston all season. Right? So that's my whole thing. But anyway, I still watch the whole video, you know what I mean? Because, apparently it's a thing now, right? So this is my take. Guys, y'all know I touched on this before, and I said that this was the right decision for Brianna Liston. Now, given that, in my opinion, Aura Tracy does not know what a foot are going with Brianna Liston at all, other than the fact that she go NCAA championships, she run, one 10.89, and then him knows that she have what 10.91 PB, right? I don't think he's been following, in my opinion, what's really been going on with her. Now, if y'all go all the way back to indoors, I touched on it and I said Brianna Liston needs to stay away from the 200 meters. She's only run two, I believe, 200 meters all season indoors. And I remember the second one vividly, because in the second one, I noticed an injury, you could say, happened to her. Something happened to her during the race. And I remember slowing it down and showing it to y'all. And I said, okay, based on what happened off this curve, clearly Brianna Liston is not fit. to handle, because y'all know we're Jamaicans, we're not used to this whole indoor circuit running thing. You know what I mean? It's nothing like running outdoors. So I'm like, okay, for an athlete that is one, has been struggling with injuries her whole career pretty much, from she's been, tender juniors to now just 20 still, you know what I mean? But tender age, she's been struggling. Let's keep her away from the 200 meters indoors and pick that thing up when she gets outdoors, right? Wisely, they kept her out of the 200 meters, thank God. However, when she got outdoors now, the workload also increased. We're talking about running 4x1s. 4x1s don't run indoors. You know what I mean? Plus, of course, the 200 meters now has been thrown on in full fledged onto her. Now, from me personally, when I look at it, the more she ran or the more events she participated in, especially with the 200 meters, I really think it had something to do. Well, not necessarily just the two. I think it had a lot to do with the curve running, because I noticed a lot when she was running on the curve is where I noticed her issues, throughout the season. So whether it was on, a relay leg or whatever was going on, I just kind of, felt a vibe that it had something to do with her running on the curve. Okay, fine, right? So it's well documented on multiple channels here on YouTube. I don't know what goes on, in other spheres, as it relates to whether it's on Twitter, whoever is making posts over there, on Instagram. I don't know who is making posts where. I just know what's going on, on YouTube world, right? And I know multiple people have talked about, Brianna Lyston visibly, suffering throughout the season, based on what they're seeing visual to the eye, right? They can see her, grimacing all the time, right? So taking all of that into consideration and know her saying, okay, I'm signing out for 2024, I said, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? Let's get some rest and come again for 2025. Because in my opinion, sometimes, guys, and I think this is the part where oral Tracy is probably coming from, because as fans of the sport, sometimes we don't really care about what comes after, right? And I remember, and I keep bringing this point up, I don't know if y'all remember in 2021, this was shortly before TXT Track Time was created, and my whole opinion of injuries has changed since then. And I remember Tajay Gale came on, and he was talking about, he got injured, mid jump, I believe, and he was saying he has to do this. Jamaica wants this medal, and I was like, I was chugging him on, choo 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 choo, yeah, go 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 go. And then after that, as I'm one, not only did it not amount to anything, right? But then the years after that he has spent recovering, not just physically, but mentally, he still to this day struggles, where he talks about every single time he takes a jump, he wonders if he's going to re injure himself. I'm like, oh, hell no. I, for one, I'm not going to be putting our athletes to this. No, my view has changed because I've started to cover track and field more in depth, where now I'm looking at these athletes into their lives, and I'm starting to understand that, oh, I can't just be sitting down here as a fan and just cheering and going whoop de doo woo 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 woo, and not really caring what happens to them, after the fact. So given that I'm now, have this perspective, I'm like, all right, when I see athletes with injuries, while yes, trackies, I would love to see them, take to the track or the field or whatever they're doing all the time and compete. I also have to keep in mind that what's the after, what's gonna come after. They're gonna match themselves up and never be able to run again, or how long is it gonna take for them to recover? I start to consider all these things when I'm looking at our athletes nowadays, right? So the selfish me back in the day would be like, I don't know, I don't really care what's going on, just go and go run. You could have run the 10, 8, 9. That means you can still carry through to the trials and run, and run and try to make the team. But herein lies the issue for me. It's not necessarily her, going to the trials and making the team, but it's the mere fact that this is continued high level competition. Let me repeat it. High level competition. It is completely different from what she has been doing on the NCAA scene. So if she's been running against her little chickies there, that are barely breaking 10 seconds, how much of them broke 10 seconds? Maybe not even a handful. I can only think of Jaysha Shears, and she needs to make it through because she suffered an injury, right? There's Chicky that ended up winning the triple, maybe Kayla Jackson. Oh, I want to say maybe three people. And I'm talking legal, not windy. Legally, dipped below 11 seconds so far this season, right? So if she's running against these little chickies, yeah, and she's struggling after the race, visibly you can see the discomfort. What you think I got happen when she reached Rona Paris, right? First round she broke up in a Shakiri. Let's say Shakiri and whoever in the same race. She's literally running a final every single race. I want y'all to understand this. She will have to be running her races like she's running a final in every single race. So now you all tell me, a Brianna Liston that is clearly visibly, struggling. Do you want her to come to our national championships and run and potentially make the team for her to continue dragging this injury till that kingdom come? Right, just to appease us so that we can see her, run at Paris, right? And at the end of the day, let's be real, that not bring her to no medal. She not get no medal this year. What go on with the field with Shakira, Julian Alfred, and all of them mother chick they way run fast? It's not Brianna Liston's year. So let's be real. All she'll be doing is going there and getting the experience and representing. So let's look at the bigger picture here, right? Let's take a step back. Let's have our little girl, our little home girl, get some rest, get healed, and come back again for 2025. There's also another important point I wanted to make as it relates to this whole injury thing. Britton Wilson. Do y'all remember Britton Wilson? And I was talking about it from last year. Last year, then she got to do the 400-meter hurdles and the 400 meters, whichever year. I think it's last year. And I was screaming here on my channel and I said, look here. What you guys are making this woman do is ridiculous. This young girl do is ridiculous. You're destroying her. Do you know that Britain's team put up some post saying that she's out again for this season with the same lingering injury? So is that we want to see happen to Brianna? We want to just make sure run and run and run and run and run and run and run until the wheels fall off? Track is, I think sometimes we have to take a step back. You know what I mean? And look at the bigger picture. Yes, she's the fastest Jamaican this season, but it really ain't not going to go nowhere. So, unless she wants to go there for experience and just see what Paris is like and all these things, which she has many more opportunities to do that in the future, then there's no big deal about her, doing what is right, which is taking the time and getting healed. No, apparently, Brianna Lyston caught wind of everything that's going on, on social media, right? And she's like, okay, I'm gonna respond to oral Tracy. So let's get into Brianna Lyston's response. Now it has audio on it, so I'm gonna mute the audio, guys, because you don't know me in the copyright strike with them music people, yeah. So let me just play this and then let me get back with the rest of my thoughts. So she says, get a grip. Then she has Romain Virgo's Leave People Business Alone, playing in the background, pretty much with this most important picture of herself. And I believe this is probably Alana Reed. The type of and this is clearly framed. This is probably in her room, maybe in Jamaica or maybe where she is, collegiately staying, right? She has this photo framed. This is the pride that she has in representing Jamaica. So she's letting y'all know, okay, calm down, right? Calm down. I'm a proud Jamaican. Don't let the accent fool you. I'm very much a proud Jamaican. You know what I mean? And at this particular point, you just need to shut up. That's the vibe I got from this video. At this point, just shut up and stop making random stuff up, because I'm happy representing my country and I take pride in doing so. You know what I mean? So that's the vibe I got from what she said, and I'm glad she said this. You know what I mean? Though when she said leave people business alone, Brianna, I just want to tell you that apart from your personal life, which I don't give a hoots scoots about, and y'all know me, I don't really care about what these athletes are doing in their personal life. Once it's track related, then yeah, I'm gonna be in your business, Brianna. So it is what it is. Get used to it. You know what I mean? But separate apart from that, I loved her response. You know what I mean? I thought this was unnecessary. Like, come on, guys. Do you know Brianna? Listen to me. Can't manage the kind of media pressure and media attention that one she's gotten from she's 12 down to now, because I notice even now when she makes certain posts, she either limits the post, the comments on the post, or she turns off the comments. So to this day, she can't manage it, right? So you think say Brianna gonna take fear like herself and go represent Team Jamaica for Jamaica drag her for the rest of her life? You think say Brianna gonna do that for Jamaica drag her for the rest of her life? Look here, Jamaica will never ever forgive her. Look, this isn't some, you know you would call, and it's not to call anybody low tier, but I'm just going to use the word. Don't be offended. This isn't some low tier athlete will take up themselves and say, all right, here what, me can't go make the Jamaica team ever. So let me transfer allegiance and see if something can go on for me. Me go eat a food to feed my family. This is not one of these athletes. This is one of our best that will be coming through in a couple of years. And you think that she got to take up for herself and go represent nobody else? Chuck is, let me tell you something. When the house are burned down, she will never switch allegiance because of what it really means, not only to her, but what it means to the people of Jamaica for her to represent black, green, and gold. I don't think she'll ever take that. And at this point, I think everything that's been said is hogwash. I was never ever going to, address it, but since I'm forced to address it because big videos swirl around and people are talking about it left, right, and center, I'm like, okay, child, I guess I have to talk about it. So here we go.